The fact that Larry Hart was appointed, obviously, that's a political issue. But aside from that, what other political angle do you believe there is?
As far as from him being appointed?
Or bringing a political connection.
Well, I mean, from a political standpoint, I know he was a police chief at Fort Myers for, I believe, 6 years. He served for 22 years on the force. Now, I know it's not an elected position, but I believe there are politics involved in becoming appointed police chief. He's been appointed by the Board of Trustees to FGCU, and these are all great things. I'm not whatsoever knocking Mr. Hart. I've never met him, and I've heard nothing but good things from numerous people about him. But he's been entrenched. His roots are here. My roots are here too, but I don't owe anything to anybody. You know what I mean? I don't, and I'm not saying he does, but I would bring, I guess, new blood, so to say, when it comes to running for politics. I first got interested in it in a program called Boys State. Are you familiar with that?
Right.
I went to Boys State when I was in high school, and gosh, it was unbelievable learning experience. Really, really enjoyed it. I went to graduate from Estero High, and ever since then I've taken a big interest. I was raised, and it sounds kind of crazy or cliche, but I believe if you don't want to fight for your rights or something you believe in, then you don't deserve them. You know what I mean? Now back to Mr. Hart's political. You know, I don't know this is the first race he's ever run for, but I think that he's entrenched a lot more than I would.
And how do you view that as? And this is a nonpartisan panel here, but how do you view that as a political act or a political?
Well, I don't know. As far as him being appointed by the governor,
No.
The governor had to appoint someone, and I don't know whether it's going to say incumbent or not on the thing. But as far as him, you know, he's been in the tax collector's office, I believe, 11 years, and there's still major issues. Now, I don't know what the deputy tax collector per se is their exact job description, but there are, in my belief, many issues with that office that you think, you know, I think the number 2 guy in charge would either be able to see or change or implement ways to fix it. So.
Besides the customer service issues, are there any other?
Well, I guess there'd be a laundry list. Did you guys? I've got my survey here. I don't know if you had a chance to read it or not.
I'm sorry, I did not.
No, yet I haven't had a chance.
I've looked at the budget. Now, granted, it's not a detailed budget, but it's the DOR form that the tax collector's office submits to the state. Tax collector's office is a fee-based office. Now, I know that the fees charged come down from the legislature, but you know, being in that position, there's a surplus every year. I mean, whether it's $2 million, $3 million, $5 million. Well, if you could reduce your costs, which any business tries to do without, you know, decreasing your service. I know you can't. Your hands are tied as far as the fees based on the legislature. But why couldn't you go to bat and say, hey, why do we need to charge this many fees if we're giving it back? You know, it's basically you call it a fee or a tax. You're taxing people and then giving it back to government entities. You know what I mean? If in my position when I ran for office in 2008, in the property appraiser's office, well, the county commission hasn't changed the millage in 10 years because they haven't had to with the way the property values are going. Back to the tax collector's office, I think there's room to decrease the cost of operating the office while increasing service. For instance, if you go to the tax collector's office now at 4:30 p.m., you're only allowed to do 1 transaction. And I've done it. I've been there firsthand. I don't know if you guys have, but if you go in there at 4:30 and you've got 2 or 3 transactions you need to do, they have a little sign that says, "I'm sorry, you can't. We can only accept 1." And you've got a girl here and someone here, really not doing anything, and they're open until 5, but you can only do 1 transaction. Well, think about the guy or the woman that got off work early to get there and get it done, and they say, "Oh, sorry, we can only do 1 transaction." As a public servant, you need to be, and to treat it like a business, you need to have customer service. You know, we don't want to say, sorry, that T wasn't crossed, or that I wasn't dotted, fix it and come back tomorrow. Let's help the people fix it. Let's do what we could do to get them in there and get them out. for instance, a small example. Now, a tax collector couldn't change this, but it could bring the issue up to people that maybe could. There's 20,000 vacant homes, foreclosures in Lee County, roughly. Every single home in their property tax bill pays, I think, just under $25 a month for waste pickup. Well, these homes are sitting vacant for between a month and 6 months, and they're paying $25 a month in tax pickup, but garbage trucks going right by. You know what I mean? Those are things that people may not even think about or look at and say, wow, why is that? Let's renegotiate the contract with Waste Management. You know what I mean? Another example, I mean, you could do little, inform the taxpayer. When the Sanibel Bridge or the Cape Coral Bridge, it's been paid for 10 times. Why don't you put a little note on the bottom of the tax bill? Hey guys, just let them know. You're not, you don't want to create a stink, but they have the right to know. You know, now if they come in to the county commissioner and say, hey guys, what are we doing with these tolls? It was paid for 10 years ago, and it's just another revenue stream. You know, you could, I don't know who's in charge of it, but you know, what if we outsource some of the tax collecting? Every business is set up right now to collect taxes on a state level. Why can't we let them collect the local taxes as well? I'm not saying you would outsource all of it. I'm not saying you would outsource any of it, but it would be in my opinion, it would be a very good avenue to look at. You know what I mean? Privatized business, you know, what does private business do? They offer service. If they don't offer service, they're going to go to the next guy. You know what I mean? So I think that there's many opportunities. Technology, gosh, everyone in the world has the internet now. Let's make, I don't want to say make mandatory, but let's prioritize, you know, online tax paying. Another example, I don't know if you're familiar with tax deeds or not, but I bought 3 tax deeds last month. In a tax deed, when someone doesn't pay their property taxes, they sell a tax certificate, and the certificate holder orders that property sold. Clerk of courts is in charge of the sale, but it's ultimately through the tax collector's office. Well, right on the front page of the website, it says subject to current year taxes. Well, I think I might have brought them with me, but here it is right here. I bought these 3 properties. If I'm going off on a tangent, guys, cut me off. We're talking about